Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy the 1st of November. Cheers, near about gone. Let's see who we got hanging out with us here. We got Sean's here. Top of the morning, he says. Top of the morning to you, Sean. Lonnie's here. Good morning. Jim Sinicola. Good morning. Hope you're doing well, Jim. Larry says, morning, everyone. Firing up the Gatton today for a project. All righty. Clyde's here. Good morning, Clyde. Gary Hammett. Good. Whoops. There we go. It didn't click right. Good morning. Rob's in the house. Good morning, Rob. Kevin Els. Good afternoon to you, Kevin. Alan's here. Let's see. Good morning. Working on fishing boat maintenance and test run today. We fish in November here in LA. Redfish and specks move into the bays. Okay. All righty. Darren is here this morning. Good morning, Darren. And so is Lou Thomas. And I always forget to change this layout thing back. I swap it back and forth. I use it the other way for the Saturday night show, and then half the time I forget to change it back when I'm doing a little morning coffee sessions. But anyway, hope y'all are doing well. I see Paul snuck in here. Good morning, Paul. I don't have much to talk about. It's going to be another wonderful day here. Joanne was saying this morning that the average high for November is 69, and it's going to get up to 74, I think, today. Yesterday was just a beautiful day. Started off kind of blah, but the sun came out, dried everything off. Got, I don't know exactly how hot, but got up into the 70s. It's just a great day to be outside. So that's kind of where I was. I was in the garage, but had the door open a lot of the time. Weather was really nice. Let's see here. My favorite solar man snuck in here. How you doing, Ryan? There you go. It says one more week. Yeah, a week from today is the big day. Of course, I think a lot of y'all have already done the early voting thing. I've thought about going over there, but like I said, I usually have to wait longer, more of a line when I go over there to do the early voting than I do when I just wait and go to my little church that's down here where I vote at. So I will stick to my original plan and go down there right after the coffee sessions. I get down there about 10 o'clock, and usually I walk right in, vote and get out within a couple of minutes. So I think I'm going to stick with that plan. Charles is here. He says, good foggy morning, Dave and Jack. Appreciate the thumbs up. Yeah, we've had although you can't tell it here, but we've had a fog advisory for this morning. But like I say, you can't tell it here. Sun's out. It's already starting to burn stuff off. So looking pretty good. Pretty excited about today. Had a bunch of fun yesterday playing with that OMTech laser. That thing is amazing. That's all I could. And mine's even beat up, and it's still amazing. It had that shipping damage and stuff that I've talked about, and it is either I'm extremely lucky or a little bit good or something. I'm not sure what. I'd probably rather go with the lucky part. But I thought, well, I better check the beam, and I had been playing around with, Friday. I got my American Photonics 4-piece kit that's got the 4 lenses and tubes and that reverse alignment tool with a little laser beam in it. And I had played around with that some, and everything looked pretty good. But then when I got out there yesterday and I finished connecting the chiller and adding the distilled water and everything, got everything right. I go, okay, I think I'm actually ready to fire this puppy up and see what it'll do. And so I thought, well, first thing I'll do is I'll just kind of go through and check the beam alignment the old fashioned way with tape. And of course, you start at mirror one, which is coming right out of the tube. And right off the rip, I'm thinking, well, everything I checked with that alignment tool the other day looked good, but I never checked back there, because you just assume that, because that's so close to the mirror, you assume they've got it pretty good. And it was actually very low. And I guess it must have had to do with getting bumped by that forklift is the only thing I can figure. But so then when I raised that up to get that where it's hitting in the center where I want it, then of course that threw everything else off. So I just went ahead and took my time and did the beam alignment stuff the old fashioned way, doing the tape and stuff. And I figured, well, I need to, know how to do that. Hadn't done that in a long time because I used to do it with the big machines when I worked in the sheet metal shops. But usually there was a technician, from the laser manufacturer that was there. He was basically doing it, and I was just watching. But anyway, I got that done. Did a couple of little engraves on some scrap pine. You might have saw those on Facebook. That was just some little graphic stuff that was on the little thumbnail thing that they see in the flash drive. I hadn't really looked close to see what's on there, but I thought, well, that's something. Let me just try that. Did that, but before I did that, I'd already made up my mind that I was going to take the stock lens off. And I think I mentioned this before, even though that machine that I got has the autofocus, I'm going to remove that autofocus thing and just kind of wire tie it up out of the way. And also that little red pointer thing, because when you're changing stuff in and out, that thing's pretty much useless too, because you always have to spend the time to get it adjusted just right. So I decided it's not worth the hassle. There's easier ways to line your work up and stuff. So anyway, so I went with the 2-inch American Photonics lens, put that thing in there. And then of course it's funny because the focal length that you need to set for all of those is the width of one of these AAA batteries. And that's what they actually send you to use to check it. You bring your bed up till you get it close, and then you just hold this under there and loosen the tube and let it drop down till it touches and tighten it back, and you're good. And that's great. But I thought, man, when I get ready to cut something, first thing I'm going to cut is something that's this width, because I mean, let's face it, this is round. So first thing that happens when you set it down is it rolls off and falls on the floor and then rolls some more and gets lost. And you're constantly having to look for it. So I thought, yeah, that's great. But I would have rather had just a piece of acrylic or piece of wood or something. So anyway, I did those couple little engravings, and then I threw a piece of some 1/4 inch poplar that I got from probably Lowe's. Might have been Home Depot, but I think it was probably Lowe's. And I cut this little tool, uh, and I just marked it so that I know, because the batteries are approximately 10.3 millimeters. So that's I just made this big enough where I can have something to hang on to and then stick this under there. But I mean, when I got ready to cut it, I thought, well, let me do a little test square. And it's like right off the rip, I just kind of guessed at what I thought the settings would be and just cut like butter, as they say. But, played around and actually did a couple of these out of poplar. And then I tried one out of red oak. And the first one I did, um, I thought it had cut pretty good, but it wouldn't quite poke through. It was just a little bit. I mean, you flip it over and you could see the line on the back side, but it just wouldn't quite. It just didn't quite cut through all the way. So I upped the power just a little bit and ran another one, and this is it, and it came out perfect. And then when I got my calipers and checked, this red oak was actually about 20 thousandths thicker than the poplar, and I'd used the same setting. So it's no wonder it almost made it, but not quite. So I have a yellow pad that I'm keeping out on the machine and taking notes, um, of settings and stuff. So, and that's what you have to do, I guess, when you're starting out from scratch. You have to, you know, start building your library of materials and cut settings and engrave settings and all that kind of stuff. So, my laser beam journey has officially kicked off, and had a ton of fun yesterday playing around with that thing. Can't wait to get back out there today and play around some more. Let's see. Larry said took every bit of 5 minutes for us to vote. Yeah. Yeah. It might take me about 5 minutes because there are more things to vote for this time, I think. And of course, if they have any of those silly, what do they call the things where they have the question, but they always word it in like crazy stuff where you have to read it 3 times to figure out whether you're supposed to vote yes or no on it, because it's like they can't just do it in plain English. They've got to use all that legalese stuff, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that vote one way, think they did the right thing, and they actually voted the opposite way of what they should have. But let's see. Big H, which is Alan, says, saw you test run OhmTech CO2 looking good. What are you doing with the smoke exhaust? I will be trying to I think I'm going to try to shoot a video today to try to talk about some of the upgrades and stuff I've done. What I've done is I removed the stock fan, which is pretty wimpy. Everybody says right off, like I said, I've been researching all this stuff for several months. So everybody I've looked at on Facebook and YouTube videos and stuff, they all say that's absolutely the first thing you got to do is upgrade the fan, because the stock fan just does not pull it out. And this is for a lot of people that want to put these things in their house. It's a definite must to upgrade the fan. So I had bought a 6-inch AC Infinity inline fan, and I took the stock fan out, and then I mounted that inline fan just under my window, and you'll see when I shoot the video. Uh, and then I have like a short piece of that flex hose going from the top of that fan. I mean, it's only probably about that long. It goes here and it goes straight up. And then I've got a board in a window with a 6-inch flange. So I've got that. And then the other part, the bottom, I've got another 6-inch hose going from there to the bottom of the machine. And from what I can understand, I don't get all the, science and stuff behind it, but everybody says when you do that, you need to remove the stock fan, because if you don't, they fight each other, and it'll make that stock fan will make the good fan that you just put in there less efficient, because they work, you know, there's different CFMs, so they work against each other. So I figure a lot of people have come before me, so they know what they're talking about. So without any hesitation, I just remove the stock fan and put that other one on there. And it's pretty cool. It has a remote. It's not a wireless remote, but it's got a really long uh, cable to it. And then the little remote's got a magnet, so it'll stick right there to the machine. And then you just push the button however many times, because that fan has about 10 different speed settings, I think. And then on the window where I made the board, on the opposite side, I bought a 6-inch, looks like a dryer thing with the 3 flaps, so that that'll close back, so help keep some of the heat in and critters out. Although the critters couldn't get very far, because if they tried to crawl through there, they'd soon hit the fan, because it's not very far for under the window. But yeah, you'll get to see that and the chiller setup I have and all that stuff when I shoot the video today. Hopefully I can get it shot and have it edited and put out there tomorrow. Depends on how much playing I do. I get out there. I get out there and get to playing, and may not get no video shot. I don't know. George is here this morning. Says, good morning, Jack, Dave, and gang. Let me know the details of the following new laser show. Okay, well, it's going to be a Wednesday night. I haven't really got a time set in stone. It's probably going to be either 8:30, or 9. I'm thinking about 8:30. It'll be a members only live stream. So in other words, if you're our channel member, because I have enabled the channel memberships. If you're a channel member, you can get the live, raw, uncut version of that live stream on Wednesday nights. If you don't want to join the channel, that's fine. You'll still get to see it. It'll just be probably edited down into a shorter, condensed version. Edit anything out I need to, fires or cuss words or anything like that. No, I'm just kidding. But it'll be a edited, shorter version, and then it will be as a regular video several days later, probably at least 3 or 4 days later, because I might do if I do the thing on Wednesday, I'll have to do a few to see how long it takes me to do the edit and stuff. Because it may be like a whole week later. It'll be put on there where anybody can see it, but of course, they're not getting the live interaction like you guys right here. Get to ask questions and see the like the raw uncut version, basically. And I will be doing basically just out there piddling around. I'm going to be doing all kinds of projects and stuff. It's not really going to be a how-to, because I'm learning too. But I have a ton of things I want to do and make with that laser. So I'll be doing those. If you're, I have 3 different tiers of membership. There's real catchy. I have a bronze, silver, and a gold. So if you are a gold member, um, you get the most perks of all the memberships, and with the gold member, that will include getting any of the files that I use, as long as they're not copyright. I can't give away stuff if I do something that's like a file that I buy or something. I can't share that. But if I design something, or it's something where it's not copyright, the gold members will get like the Lightburn files that will have the settings and all that and stuff like that. So there'll be some extra perks for the different levels of membership. And not on this channel, because this is a different channel, but on that channel, if you want to try to, you want to see what the different levels are and what perks you get with different levels, the easiest way to do that is to go to that YouTube channel, which is just my Dave Gatton YouTube channel. Click on the join button, and then when you click that, it pops up and it has all that stuff listed. And of course, you can exit out of it and not join at all if you want. You don't have to join. But if you just want to learn more, that's the easiest way, I think, because I went and looked at it myself to see how. But there will be just some advantages to becoming a member, because you'll get to see things that other folks don't get to see at all, or you'll get to see them way before the other folks do. And of course, then there's the other little perks, like getting the files and stuff like that you'll be able to get too. Let's see. I'm missing some stuff here. Ryan says my grandpa got his early vote in. Odd, since he's been dead 30 years. Yeah. We laugh, but he might be still voting somewhere. No doubt my mom and dad are still voting somewhere. They'd be turning over in their grave if they knew they had to vote for some of these jokers. Let's see. Rob says, big space launch in half an hour. I'm going to watch it right after the show is over. Okay. Well, we'll make sure we get out of here on time. Don't make you run late here. I missed something. Let me back up. Did I miss something? Let's see. Marcelo's here. I don't think I said good morning to him. Okay. I see that Larry says there's a place in Lightburn to put this. Okay. I guess he was talking to me. Yeah. The library thing. That's what I mean. It's when I'm starting from scratch, because I don't really have anything to go by. The manual that came with the thing has some, pretty basic settings, so that can give you something, at least a starting point. And really, everybody's laser is different. Even if you get the exact same laser, the same wattage tube and all that, they're just like CNC machines. Everything's a little bit different. So what works for one person may not work for another. But usually, if somebody has the exact same machine, same wattage tube and everything, and they say, well, I cut at this speed and this watt, that gives you a starting point. So you may have to do a little more, or maybe you can do a little less. Yeah. Rob says we had dozens of propositions on our ballot this time. Took forever to vote. Yeah, the propositions was the word I was trying to think of. That's when they have a paragraph about that long on the ballot, and you have to spend 10 minutes to read it, and then you don't understand it. You got to read it again, and hope you make the right choice on them. If they just word it for plain folk and say, well, if you vote yes, this is what happens. If you vote no, this is what will happen. But no, they got to put all that legalese stuff in there and make it where if you're not a lawyer, you don't know what the heck you're voting for. Alan says 6-inch AC infinity fan is a great solution. But I am using one and it works really well. You can switch the fan off. Oh, wait a minute. You can switch the fan on or off with separate switch and it remembers the speed setting. Okay. I hadn't even looked at that. Is the switch you're talking about on the fan itself, Alan? Because I was thinking I don't know. I hadn't really looked at it that close, that little remote. But there's just a button you push, and every time you push it, another light comes on, and it goes around a circle to let you know what level you're on. So yeah, I don't know about that. Let me know where that switch is. I'll look for one on mine. And by the way, how are you enjoying that fiber? I saw the video you posted the other day. That thing looked awesome, man. Those things are pretty cool. I really like those. Let's see. Frankie's here this morning. Good morning, Frankie. Ryan says, heading to town. An article about my Christmas light company comes out today. Uh-oh. You better prepare to get really busy. Really busy. Sean says, looks like I have the bronze budget. Need to up my game. Well, I didn't have any, because I haven't done the channel membership thing before. And I thought, well, I'm just going to go with the recommended suggestions that YouTube says. And that's what I did. Those are pretty much the ones they recommended for the 3-tier things. They'd say, well, this one's popular and this one's popular. And you think about it now, even the highest level, the gold thing, if you think, that's a month. So you think about it, that's still less than $1 a day. Way less than $1 a day. And like I said, you get perks. You get to see certain things that other folks won't get to see. You get certain files and that kind of thing. I try to make it where it's going to be worth people that want to do it. But it doesn't really matter to me how many people are in there. If it's just me and one other person, me and Alan or whatever, because I know Alan, he was channel member number 1. I'm totally cool with that. I'm still going to do it. It's not like it's, it doesn't matter how many folks are there. So I tried to make the tier levels. Like I said, I just went with what YouTube recommended, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, okay. He says, no, you add a switch. Pendant is a pain to run up and down for me. Yeah, it is kind of because, most of the time you're going to want to run it pretty high. And then every time you turn it off, and I think the only way to turn it off is, I don't even know for sure how many levels there are. Let's say there's 8 or 9, something like that. When you get all the lights lit up, then you hit it one more time and it shuts it off. So it's like it goes around a circle and it shuts. And I have go to turn it on and try to push the button real quick and accidentally hit one too many. And then next thing I know, I'm like, I went ahead and turned it back off again, because you can't, it's not something like when you push the button, you immediately hear it. Mine winds up real slow. It doesn't just, come on all of a sudden. It starts slow and works its way up. And, you just, don't hear it, but it is really quiet, and I'm surprised there's nothing out there. As I was sitting there running this stuff uh, yesterday, I got to thinking, man, this is so nice because there's no dust collection. There's dust or fume extraction, but no dust collection like on a CNC. There's no router bit cutting through wood like on a CNC. It's so quiet. You could stand there with somebody in the shop and have a conversation because the fan, that's one of the things about the AC Infinity. They're quiet. Even the chiller that I'm using doesn't make that much noise. The with the air assist running and all that stuff, nothing's very loud. So it quite enjoyable to be out there playing around and not have to worry about ear protection or if you got somebody else out there trying to yell over the noise and stuff. So all right, Sean says congrats, Ryan. Yeah, that article comes out, you will be a busy fella. You won't ever get them doors put on. You'll be too busy. All right. Sean says he's in. All right. Well, welcome aboard, Sean. It's not going to show up on here because this is a different channel. Normally it would show up and say so-and-so just joined or whatever, but it won't show up here because that's a different channel. But anyway, should be a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing the first one. Will be a week from tomorrow, or think of it as the day after Election Day. So still got a lot of stuff set up as far as live stream stuff, getting cameras ready and stuff like that. But should be a lot of fun. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun. I hope everybody else does. But just kind of think of it more like a private hangout. Is kind of what it's going to be. It's not like it's going to be some big production show or anything. It's just me out there playing around with laser beams, having fun and answering whatever questions I can. Like I said, I'm all new to this stuff, but so far it's going pretty good. Anyway, let me get out of here. That was my timer, I think, a while ago. So y'all get out there, enjoy your Tuesday, and we still got this 600 thing going. We'll be on 603 tomorrow. Maybe we can make it to 7. Maybe so. All right. See y'all. Have a good one.